Flags in the air. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing, boys.
All right, everybody. Welcome to the Breaking Balls YouTube channel. It's Bob here, and of course, we are coming off of the closest finish in NASCAR history on Sunday, but the NASCAR news never stops. Silly season's upon us, and so we know where Dale Jr. is going to be on our TV next year. We'll get to that, and also, there's a potential merger going on between two major NASCAR teams. Of course, like I said, silly season. But first, like I said, Dale Jr., we knew he was going to be on Amazon's coverage when NASCAR starts on their broadcast next year. Dale Jr. will be on Amazon, but he'll also be on the TNT coverage with NASCAR. That's right. NASCAR going to be back with TNT as this new 7-year broadcast deal with their media rights goes on. Dale Jr. will be a part of both Amazon and TNT's summer coverage in NASCAR. So we'll get Dale Jr. on our TVs for 10 races out of the 36. I know it's not quite the 16 that you got with NBC, but I'll take it. Dale Jr. needs to be broadcasting in NASCAR, and the fact that he'll be on TNT, that's huge. They also announced that Dirty Mo, his media company, of course, if you're probably watching this, you're very familiar with Dale Jr.'s media company, Dirty Mo Media, but Dirty Mo and Bleacher Report will be combining to do a series of social and digital products and content. So for Dale Jr., he gets outside source to help with his content company, along with getting broadcasting rights as a NASCAR commentator. So it's a win-win for Dale Jr. As a fan, we don't have him in 2024. If you don't remember, he was a free agent this year. So he will not be a part of the NBC coverage when it switches to them in a few weeks. That is a major loss as a broadcaster. And as a viewer, you want Dale Jr. on. He's one of the best. It doesn't get any better than him. But we will get Dale Jr. for at least 10 races starting in 2025 when Amazon and TNT take over as part of the new broadcast rights, along with Fox and NBC for a 7-year deal. So we got that. And then, like I said, silly seasons here in NASCAR, folks. And Bob Pockrass, Adam Stern had some reports yesterday on some of the chatter that was out of the garage, what's coming on in the future. And Stewart-Haas has always been at the forefront of these, it feels like. Whatever's going to go on with Stewart-Haas is murky, to say the least. But a little bit of clarity did come out. It sounds like they are going to be shopping at least a few charters. It sounded like, from what Bob Pockrass reported, they will be sending out and have sent out potential buyers information on what it takes to purchase these charters. So they're telling them, hey, this is the number. This is what you got to jump through to get to these charters. So we'll see what that looks like. It sounds like it's going to be multiple charters, though. What Bob Pockrass and Adam Stern both had reported was that Chase Briscoe and Josh Berry were the ones that were most likely to keep their seats. So if that's the case, you got to put your thinking cap on here. Those are the charters that are affiliated with Tony Stewart, the 4 and the 14. That's interesting. Part of the expansion rumor also came out. Front Row Motorsports was one of the teams that was looking at expanding. And part of that caveat in the report was that if they're expanding, they are running out of space at their shop. They might expand and buy the second Stewart-Haas Racing building. The first building is what headquarters, their F1 headquarters in North America, and they run a lot of operations out of that. But they have a second shop for their NASCAR teams primarily. If Stewart-Haas is to downsize, Front Row Motorsports would buy that shop. That would be very interesting. Let's go ahead and just delve a little bit deeper into that, because then a couple hours later, NASCAR Rumor Nostalgia on Instagram. It's a rumor mill account on Instagram, but it made its way around the grapevine here, where apparently there's a merger that has been kind of in the works. It's kind of just been rumors right now, but it's going through the industry that Stewart-Haas Racing and Front Row Motorsports would be merging starting next year. Oh boy. Well, first of all, that would make sense why Stewart-Haas has not renewed their deal with Ford for 2025 yet, because they might not be Stewart-Haas Racing. But it sounds like Haas and Tony Stewart might be splitting their charters, and 2 might be selling and 2 might be staying. We might be potentially having Front Row Motorsports and Tony Stewart's charters combine up into a 4-car team. You've already heard the chatter that Front Row Motorsports is now a Tier 1 OEM with Ford. They really haven't received that backing because it is the first year of that development, but they're going to be in the plans for Ford long term. Stewart-Haas was that second OEM team, that second first-tier OEM team with Penske into the Ford camp. Well, this would make a lot of sense why Front Row is kind of taking that peg with them. Maybe they're going to be taking that Tony Stewart Front Row team and being that second OEM team with Ford instead of Stewart-Haas. So I don't know if you'd call it Stewart Front Row Motorsports, Front Row Stewart. I don't know, but you look at the competitiveness of these two teams, it's almost been two different trajectories where Front Row has been slowly building ever since Michael McDowell's Daytona 500 win in 2021, where Stuart Haas, ever since the pandemic hit and Kevin Harvick had that dominant season, they've just lacked. They've fallen apart. Their driver lineup has just been lackluster at best, to be honest. And 3 wins since 2021, where Stuart Haas has 3, Front Row has 2. They're very even teams when you really look at the numbers there. So it's going to be interesting to see moving forward if this is actually a merger. Of course, we'll be covering that here at Breaking Balls. We cover NASCAR on a daily basis, like I said. So for all the content moving forward, like, subscribe. We'll be back with more later. Thanks for watching.